The established order is being challenged. For decades, the entry-level American cruiser segment was essentially untouched. Now, we have an unexpected contender, a bike that carries the bar and shield, but whose heart beats to an Indian rhythm. We're talking about the Harley-Davidson X440T. Forget everything you think you know about entry-level Harleys, because this one rewrites the rules and it's creating a massive debate across the Atlantic. The question isn't just, what is the X440T? The critical question is, can a 27 horsepower single-cylinder bike, built in partnership with Hero MotoCorp, survive the brutal scrutiny of the American rider, a rider accustomed to big V-twins, big cubic inches, and highway speed limits that demand real authority? I'm here to tell you, as a lifelong mechanic and a dedicated American rider, that this is not a simple rebranding. This is a strategic move that fundamentally changes Harley-Davidson's global position, and its potential arrival here demands a deep mechanical and market analysis. Let's lay out the reality check immediately. The X440T is visually distinct from its sibling, the X440, boasting a more aggressive, muscular rear-end styling, reminiscent of the retired street rod, a move clearly designed to inject some needed visual aggression. But aesthetics aside, beneath that revised subframe and new seat lies the same basic mechanical platform. This motorcycle is powered by a 440cc air-oil-cooled, single-cylinder engine producing approximately 27.3 horsepower and a peak torque of 28 38 Nm, delivered at a very usable 4,000 RPM. This is the core of the issue for the US market. When we look at its direct competitors here, we're not talking about casual commuting. We're talking about highway capability, stability, and enough usable power for quick merges and sustained 75 to 80 mph cruising. The Royal Enfield Meteor 350 or the Honda Rebel 300 are bikes that are perfectly capable in an urban environment, but they struggle when put to the test on Interstate 95 or Highway 101. The X440T, while offering more displacement, sits perilously close to this performance threshold. Furthermore, we must address the price point. In India, the X440 is positioned aggressively, with pricing starting around the INR 2.39 lakh mark. If this bike were to reach US shores, we must factor in logistics, tariffs, safety certifications, and the cost of the Harley-Davidson branding. Conservatively, we can estimate that a hypothetical US MSRP for the X440T would need to be strategically positioned to compete directly against the established Japanese and European entry-level bikes. We are talking about a price tag that would likely need to hover between $4,500 and $5,500 USD. Anything significantly higher, say approaching the $6,000 mark, and the X440T will face insurmountable competition from proven multi-cylinder rivals like the Kawasaki Z400 or the Honda CB500F, bikes that offer almost double the horsepower and a far more sophisticated engine architecture. The challenge for Harley-Davidson is immense. They need to sell an Indian-built, single-cylinder motorcycle on the promise of American heritage, at a price point that justifies the performance limitations. The primary internal conflict is whether the bar and shield badge is enough to overcome a performance deficit that the average American rider will immediately feel. The next segment will dive deep into the specific mechanical characteristics that will define this bike's success or failure in our high-speed environment, and will put it head-to-head against its most significant rival, the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. This is a zero-sum game, and understanding the engineering decisions is key to predicting the market outcome. Do not go anywhere. The data doesn't lie. Now we transition from market speculation to mechanical reality. We must understand the X440T not as a branding exercise, but as a machine designed for specific conditions that fundamentally differ from the American riding landscape. The core mechanical conflict for the X440T, should it land on US soil, revolves entirely around its power-to-weight ratio and the design ethos of its long-stroke, air-oil-cooled single. Let's look at the hard numbers that define its capability. The X440T is a relatively light machine with an estimated curb weight around 400 lbs, 182 kilograms, possibly slightly more due to specific US safety and emissions requirements. With 27.3 horsepower on tap, that translates to a power-to-weight metric that favors light, quick handling in dense urban environments. This is its strongest operational advantage: excellent fuel economy and snappy response up to about 40 mph. However, the performance curve of this engine is the critical point of failure for the American highway. Peak torque of 28 lb-ft arrives early at 4,000 RPM. This delivery characteristic is optimized for low-speed lugging and stop-and-go traffic, not for high RPM, sustained cruising demanded by our interstate system. For a US rider, this means maintaining freeway speeds of 75 to 80 mph will likely place the engine close to its working limit, generating the signature vibration issues inherent in a large-bore single-cylinder engine. More critically, it risks accelerated internal wear over time. This design is built for durability and economy, which is the antithesis of the necessary high-speed longevity and comfort the American rider expects. The engine is simply not engineered to feel relaxed at 75 mph. To illustrate the severity of this performance deficit, we must look at its true rivals in the American market entry-level segment, specifically those that offer a cruiser or standard aesthetic. The primary rival is the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650. The Interceptor, priced roughly $12,440 price, utilizes a 640-48cc parallel twin engine. This configuration delivers roughly 47 horsepower and 38 lb-ft of torque, resulting in nearly 72% more horsepower than the Harley. The Interceptor's twin-cylinder architecture provides inherently smoother, more sustained power delivery, which is exactly what a rider needs for confident merging and stability during long-distance American rides. We also have fierce competition from Japanese manufacturers. The Honda Rebel 500 and the new Kawasaki Eliminator, both using more sophisticated parallel twin engines in the 450cc to 500cc range, deliver around 46 to 52 horsepower respectively. Even a slightly heavier bike like the Rebel 500 maintains a significant horsepower advantage over the X440T. These established competitors offer not just better performance metrics on paper, but proven reliability and widespread dealer support in the States. While the X440T does offer modern components like an inverted front fork and standard dual-channel ABS, the quality of its damping and overall chassis integrity at high speeds, handling the mass and speed of an American rider, remains a major operational uncertainty. The most critical weakness, the conflict, is this. The X440T attempts to sell the prestigious Harley-Davidson experience, a promise of open road freedom and authority, using a mechanical package fundamentally suited for a densely populated, lower-speed environment. The single-cylinder thumper is a formula for economy, but it flies in the face of the American highway cruiser ethos. The market challenge is not whether the bike can be sold, but whether Harley-Davidson can convince American riders to pay a premium for a badge when superior, proven, and significantly more powerful twin-cylinder machines are available for a marginal price increase. The rider is buying into the idea of a Harley, but receiving the reality of a budget commuter, creating a psychological barrier that will be difficult to overcome in a performance-focused market. The third act will address the necessary strategic pivot required to resolve this conflict and successfully position the X440T for the American audience. We have established the core mechanical and market conflict. The Harley-Davidson X440T is a competently engineered machine for its intended Asian market, characterized by low weight, early torque delivery, and economy. However, its 27.3 horsepower single-cylinder engine is critically underpowered for the expectations and demands of sustained high-speed cruising inherent in the American riding environment. The conflict now requires a strategic resolution, and that resolution lies not in competing on raw power, but on segment identity and brand experience. Harley-Davidson cannot position the X440T as a rival to the Kawasaki Eliminator or the Honda Rebel 500 based on performance. Those twin-cylinder bikes dominate that metric. Instead, the X440T must be marketed strictly as a premium urban standard and a gateway machine into the Harley-Davidson ecosystem, a role historically filled by the now discontinued street platform. The U.S. marketing strategy must pivot entirely away from highway performance and focus on three key U.S. rider values: aesthetics, customization potential, and accessibility. Firstly, aesthetics. The X440T, with its revised, muscular rear-end styling and premium finishes like the inverted front fork and all-LED lighting, genuinely looks more substantial than its sub-$5,500 price point would suggest. Harley-Davidson must leverage this. They are selling the look of a capable American standard, not the high displacement performance. The T variant's more aggressive stance, including those bar-end mirrors and the tidy subframe, is a significant visual upgrade over the base X440 and must be highlighted as a direct connection to a more aggressive lineage of the brand. Secondly, customization potential. This is where the bar and shield badge delivers unmatched value. No competitor, not Honda, not Kawasaki, and certainly not Royal Enfield, can match the depth and accessibility of the Harley-Davidson aftermarket and accessory catalog. The X440T must be framed as a blank canvas, ready for simple, high-impact, bolt-on parts. For the American buyer, a bike's value is often determined by how easily it can be personalized. The ability to quickly add genuine Harley-Davidson accessories, a seat, exhaust tips, upgraded mirrors, provides an immediate sense of ownership and connection to the brand that outweighs a marginal horsepower difference in this specific entry-level psychological segment. Finally, accessibility. If the hypothetical US price lands in that sweet spot between $4,500 and $5,500 USD, the X440T becomes the most accessible Harley-Davidson on the market, period. For the new rider, the shorter seat height, lightweight, and non-intimidating power output translate directly to rider confidence. This bike is an excellent learning platform. It is a calculated risk, but a necessary one. Harley-Davidson is acknowledging that their future depends on capturing a younger, more urban demographic that is not looking for a 100 horsepower machine, but a stylish, reliable, and brand-backed urban runabout. The final reflection. The Harley-Davidson X440T is not designed to replace the Street Glide or even the Iron 883. It is a surgical strike aimed at a highly competitive global segment. If the marketing team here in the US can successfully pivot the narrative from underpowered cruiser to premium, stylish, and customizable urban standard, then this motorcycle has a definitive, albeit niche, place in the American market. It is a necessary compromise to secure brand loyalty from the next generation of riders, who might eventually upgrade to a Milwaukee-built V-twin. The engineering is sound for its purpose. The sales success will depend entirely on how effectively Harley-Davidson sells the brand dream over the spec sheet reality to an audience that historically values the latter above all else. This motorcycle is a test of the enduring power of the bar and shield.